humble pronounce to the lotus feet of Amma. A very warm welcome to our distinguished guests, esteemed expert speakers from industry, researchers, faculty members and students to this auspicious occasion. Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, renowned as a sacred temple of learning, is verily the fulfillment of Amma, the Chancellor's vision of an educational system, which imparts the culture of the heart and a culture based on spiritual values, thereby molding the younger generation through a harmonious blend of science and spirituality. Today, the Humanitarian Technology Labs is proud to host the Symposium on Sustainable and Affordable Healthcare Innovations. This symposium serves as a platform to unite researchers, healthcare professionals, technologies, and social workers to explore innovative, accessible, and cost-effective healthcare solutions. The focus will be on advancements in medical devices, diagnostics, digital health platforms, and community-based interventions designed to meet the need of public. Through interdisciplinary collaboration, the symposium aspires to catalyze scalable and sustainable improvements in healthcare delivery, particularly in low and middle income settings. Special emphasis will be placed on eco-friendly technologies, sustainability, and inclusive models that ensure affordability without compromising on quality or impact. Let us commence this auspicious occasion by invoking the blessings of the Almighty. I invite the dignitaries for the lighting of the ceremonial lamp, which will be followed by the prayer.
ध्यायामोदवलावकुण्डनवदीं तेजोमयीं नैष्टिकीं स्निग्धापाङ्गविलोहिणीं भगवतीं मन्दस्मितश्रीमुखीं वात्सल्यामृतवर्षिणी सुमधुरम् सङ्कीर्तनालापिनी श्यामाङ्गी मधुस्निग्धसूक्तिम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकाम् ईश्वरी ॐ अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः ॐ अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः ॐ अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः. I would like to invite Dr. Rajesh Kannan Megalingam, Director of HUT Labs, Head of Smart and Acute Center, to deliver the welcome address.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. It is my honor and great pleasure to welcome you all to the inauguration of this symposium on sustainable and affordable healthcare innovations. Today marks a meaningful gathering of minds committed to transforming healthcare into a system that is not only effective and accessible, but also environmentally and economically sustainable. We are privileged to have with us a diverse group of experts, scientists, healthcare professionals, entrepreneurs, policymakers, and students who bring unique perspectives and ideas to the table. Your presence here reflects a shared vision to ensure that healthcare reaches every individual, irrespective of geography or income, without compromising the well-being of our planet. As we navigate the challenges of rising costs, resource limitations, and increasing health disparities, the need for innovative solutions has never been more urgent. From frugal medical devices and digital health medical devices, digital health platforms, to eco-friendly hospital infrastructure and community-based care models. Innovation is the key to bridging the gap between affordability and quality. Artificial intelligence plays a transformative role in achieving sustainable and affordable healthcare. By enabling early disease detection, predictive diagnostics, and personalized treatment plans, AI improves outcomes while reducing the cost. AI-powered tools streamline hospital operations, optimize resource use, and support telemedicine, expanding access to underserved areas. In drug discovery and medical imaging, AI accelerates innovation and enhances accuracy. Importantly, AI systems can be deployed on low-cost devices, making advanced care accessible even in resource-limited settings, similar to that of rural areas or villages. By driving efficiency, scalability, and equity, AI is a key enabler of smarter, greener, and more inclusive healthcare systems for the future. Now at Hut Labs, we have developed or have been developing since 2010 healthcare devices. Well, we do many things in Hut Labs, but one of the focus is healthcare devices. The first one that we built in 2010 was a hand gesture based control wheelchair. Right? You move your hand and control the wheelchair. The motivation was the quadriplegic patients. Quadriplegic, those who have lost the ability to move from the neck till the feet. Right? They can move their head or eyes, but otherwise they are bedridden. Right? But then, how hand gesture going to use it? But during therapy, they can regain some motor functions in hands. Even if they can move their finger, they will be able to control the wheelchair. So that was the first wheelchair designed and successfully demonstrated at Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences by none other than final year students, BTech students. Right? So the wheelchair won the gold medal in the India Embedded Challenge by Intel Incorporation and also won the best prize for the Humanitarian Technology. So the second one, with that we started developing many devices for the hand gesture, then voice control, then eye based, then head control, then BCI, right, brain computer interface, finally fully autonomous. Right, so a wheelchair like similar to autonomous cars, right, driverless cars. Right, you sit in the wheelchair, you either spell out the destination or you touch in a screen where you want to go, the wheelchair takes you there. So remember, all these different modes of control methods have been tested and proved again and again at our Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences, particularly the Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation. Now coming to the pandemic time, right? So I remember, right, everything closed, everything shut down, right? College and all closed, nobody there, nobody knows what to do, right? And ashramites restricted to ashram. Well, I am also ashramite, but few people have to be there in the university, right? So I was one among them, right? Now, people at the ashram who were researchers and many other faculty involved in research, Amma has given a specific task to them, how they can build some devices quickly that would help with the patients suffering due to pandemic. Right. So I was not there in the meeting because I was on this side. The Chancellor met the top people and conveyed that we should do something, right, as researchers. Then somebody brought my name, right? Rajesh Kannan is not here. He has done few things, right? Then Amma immediately told, He has so many things there, but he is doing nothing. Right? So this was a trigger for me. Right? So within 2 months, you won't believe, within 2 months, right, we were able to build 5 different devices. 5 different devices for the cause of the pandemic. Right? One is the ultraviolet ultraviolet radiation, right? So it is like you desanitize a robo, a hooded wheelchair for safe transport of COVID patients, a teleoperated wheelchair, right, where the pusher need not touch the patient or the wheelchair, right, and Annapurna, the food and medicine delivery robo. It can go into the room. You don't need a person to personally go into the isolated wards, right? So within 2 months, we were able to showcase or build these devices, and they were used, some of them in AIMS and some of them at Amritapuri Hospital at our Amritapuri Ashram, right? So then after that, we did not stop. We were like continuing till date, right? The latest one in the list is the device called Netravar, eye-based communication system, right, for the people with speech issues, particularly due to accident or the stroke, who become bedridden and they're not able to convey, right? So we have developed this device where the device integrates AI algorithms to capture the eye movements and convert it into words and sentences. Well, there are not this particular device in India, but similar device. 1 or 2 is available in the world, but they are limited to only indicating the need for the user, whereas the device we build can give the user full freedom, full communication back, in the sense that, for example, let us say that a professor become bedridden due to stroke or some accident, right? Now after the recovery, right, if the severe stroke, right, if it's still bedridden and not able to speak, the professor can continue teaching classes using his eyes, right? So the full communication, like as I am speaking now, through using my like tongue and mouth, the professor can use the eyes to continuously talk and deliver a lecture. So such a system is the first of its kind in the world. We have already applied for the patent of that device, and the inspiration came from none other than our Chancellor, Amma, right? So this was because there used to be a patient, right, when Amma goes to US tour, America tour, this patient will be like, he used to come visit every time at San Ramon, California, right? So he would be on the wheelchair or a stretcher. He is fully bedridden. He is quadriplegic, right? So Amma gives him special attention, like caresses the entire body, apply ashes and everything. He used to communicate to Amma through an interpreter using eyes, right? He used his eyes, and the interpreter would be able to tell what he want to convey. Now Amma asked me whether you can build a device which will not require the interpreter, right? So we have built a device which will not require an interpreter, which will capture the eye sign and convert that into speech, right? So that is successfully built, and also we have launched a startup with the support from the TIMED, which is the startup part of the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Medical Sciences, right? And now we are trying to make sure that it reaches the intended people, right? So looking all these things, it is right time that we collaborate with many organizations to make sure that these devices are not only exhibits, but reach people who are in really need. We can't do it alone. Researchers cannot do it alone unless all the stakeholders come together, like Saksham or Adarsh Charitable Trust. Right, we are also in touch with NIPMER, National Institute of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation. Right, that is from Thrissur. The NISH, National Institute of Speech and Hearing, Trivandrum. Right, so we want to bring in all the stakeholders so that all that we build, develop, right, reach people and attain their goal, attain their purpose. Now, with this introduction for the symposium, I would like to take this opportunity to first welcome our chief guest today, Shri P.R. Madhavan, Founder Secretary of Adarsh Charitable Trust and Founder Proprietor of Rehabilitation. Welcome, sir. Next, I would like to welcome our guest of honor today, Dr. Balachandran P., President, Saksham Samdrishti Shamata Vikas, Evam Anusandan Mandal. Welcome, sir. Next, I would like to welcome our Dr. Gayatri Narayan, Vice Chairperson, Department of Electronics and Communication. Right, Department of Art Labs is very much associated with the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. So, welcome, Madam. I would also like to welcome the today invited speakers. Shri Santanu Gaur, Healthcare AI Adoption Specialist, MAITI, NASCOM Center of Excellence. Welcome, Santanu Gaur. Then next, we would like to welcome Dr. Atul Joseph Manuel, President-elect, IMA Cochin Managing Trustee, Arike Care, CMO, Open Health Care Network. Welcome, sir. We would also like to welcome our speaker, Dr. Parvati Unnikrishnan, Associate Professor, Department of Prasuti Tantra and Stri Roga, School of Ayurveda, Amritapuri Campus. I would also like to welcome all the members of the section, all the members of the Adarsh Charitable Trust, the faculty, the researchers, and the student community for this symposium. So we have very good talks today. We hope that all of you benefit from the experience of these expert speakers. So with that, I would like to thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to welcome our distinguished guests and everyone else. Thank you very much. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, Rajesh sir, for the warm welcome and introduction session. With great respect and happiness, I invite our chief guest, Mr. P.R. Mahadevan. Mr. Mahadevan is a visionary in the field of rehabilitation and inclusive care. He is a founder secretary of the Adarsh Charitable Trust and the founder and proprietor of Sai Rehabilitation, both pioneering institutions that have transformed the lives of countless children with special needs. With over 30 years of dedicated service, his journey from being a banker with the Federal Bank to a committed change maker in the field of disability rehabilitation is nothing short of inspiring. Under his leadership, Adarsh Charitable Trust, which began in 1998 with just 7 differently abled children, has grown into a center of excellence serving over 500 children today. Through innovative therapies ranging from speech and occupational therapy to dance, music, and even hydrotherapy, Adarsh has become a beacon of hope for families across Kerala. Mr. Mahadevan has also played a vital role as a convener for the National Trust in Ernakulam and a member of the State Disability Board under the RPWD Act. His unwavering commitment to creating inclusive spaces and harnessing the power of technology to improve the quality of life for children with special needs continues to uplift and inspire. With great pleasure, I now invite Mr. P.R. Mahadevan to deliver the Chief Guest address and to share his valuable insights on the topic, the importance of technology in improving the quality of life of children with special needs.
morning all. Actually, when I came here, I was not at all nervous. But after hearing all this, and after seeing the dignitaries sitting on and off the dais, I probably feel that I am actually an old man out. Because such a scholar sitting around me, all doctors, either clinical doctors or research scholars. And I am from a very ordinary background. I think Shantanu may join me also, perhaps. Anyway, I am not here to actually tell anything new to you. Rather, I am very happy to be here because of various reasons. Overall, the journey of 27 years, but 27 years, has been introduced from a humble beginning of 7 children to about 500 old children now. We have been fortunate enough to have help from various quarters. We have got help from philanthropist individuals, corporates. So this help when we get from various quarters, that is what actually pushes you in. That gives the trust to go in. Similarly, I'm very happy, rather we are very happy, others are very happy to receive this immense help from a university none other than Amrita. Such an honored university, it's an honor for us. So this gives me immense pleasure. The second one is the crowd which is sitting in front of me. I see a lot of youngsters, students, probably Biotech graduates. This gives me immense pleasure because, wherever we get an opportunity to converse with youngsters, we never miss that opportunity because you are the future of India and we always have a lot of faith in you. So we want to transform, we want to transfer what we have to you so that you are the bright future of India. So wherever we get a chance to converse with you, we utilize that. In that respect, we at others are very happy that we are here to represent. We are very happy that the MOU which we are going to sign here, the new step we are going to take. Once I explained in my speech, the result of that actually, that the transformation that particular device which is going to make in our children's life is going to be immense. So that is another aspect which is give us immense pleasure for joining this crowd. So at this pleasure moment, let me actually not explain you, rather demand you what we want. We are the people who work in the ground level, but we work to do some kind of transformation in the kids. And we'll be demanding you, we need this one. So, you the youngsters, be with us, be with these kids, be with this segment. So that throughout your journey, at one point of time, definitely even you get an opportunity to be with them, be with them. This reminds me of a small story which I was just telling to my colleagues here. One day when I was sitting in Adarsh, one boy came. He just came and he just said, "Pranam sir, I'm very happy that I'm here again." Then I asked him, what made you to pranam me? He told me, I passed in BPS and I am going to join in pediatrics. I told him, okay, that's fine. So what is that role which I have played for your transformation? And he was telling me, no, sir. When I was studying in my +2, we used to encourage these students from other schools to come to school. Rather, we also go to their school. Because as a part of inclusion, we want to get our children to get that circumstances, that environment of normal schools, as well the normal children to get the environment of our children. This plays an important role because you should know what actually the gift the God has given to you. You know how better your line is. So for comparing that, not even that, for having that empathy, we always encourage children from other schools like Joyce or Bhavans or even government schools to come and visit us. So they have visited from Chinmaya, and this boy also was there with that group about 5 or 6 years back before we came to you. Then as usual, whenever I get time, I used to converse with these children who comes to visit us. Then he was telling me, I told him that, at a point of time in your life, that is what I am going to tell you also, at a point of in your time, now you focus on your studies. Now you focus on your, career. But at a point of time, whenever you get a time to engage with this segment, with these children, please keep in mind that you have a role to play. Have empathy for these kids. This probably might have inspired him to pursue a career in MBBS, and he passed that, and after that he is going to be a pediatrician and he is going to pursue this particular segment. So these kind of inspiration actually inspire you also. Now here, we are going to address a particular segment where, we call it neurodivergent. I will be telling a small thing about this one. See, the cause of all this neurodivergency is brain damage. Brain damage happening either in the fetal stage or during the time of delivery or immediately after the delivery, or portion of your brain get damaged. So what happens is that, the problem with the brain cells are, it is not rejuvenating like in our other cells. So once the portion of the brain get damaged, the damage is permanent one. And the disability is manifested depending on the place of the damage. In others, we take care of 5 disabilities like cerebral palsy, autism. You might have heard of these names and all. Multiple disability, learning disorder. You might have definitely heard because you might have seen the film Tare Zameen Pe. Then of course Down syndrome. These are the 5 disabilities we address in others. Out of that, except this Down syndrome, all the other disabilities are neurodivergent, neurological impairment. Which means this happened because of a brain damage. As I told you, the problem of brain damage is, it is irrevocable. Once a portion of the brain is damaged, it is a permanent damage. So we have got little to do that. I can say not little, we have got a little to do on that. So we have got a situation where, we have got a brain damage, and that manifests a certain kind of disabilities. In the case of cerebral palsy, the disability is that all the other portion of their brain is intact, intellectual part is intact. Only the problem is, so when I am talking to you, I have got a thought process, I have got some actions, I have got a body language, this has got a coordination. So I have got an intelligent mind in an intelligent body, or an obedient body. Whereas in the case of persons with cerebral palsy, they have got a very intelligent mind, but the body is totally disobedient. And in all probability, in many cases, they are non-verbal also. So the main problem with them is communication. For example, there is a glass of water, I am very thirsty, doctor is sitting there, he is really able to help me or he is prepared to help me. I am thirsty. I should have just converse him, doctor, please let me have a glass of water. Or I should be showing him some actions so that I need a glass of water. If I am not able to do either of this, because I am non-verbal, I am not able to communicate that to him, neither doctor is able to decipher what I am doing in my action. So my action is not decipherable for doctor. It may be decipherable for parents, maybe the caretakers, but not the third person. So ultimately what happens? The situation is that there is a glass of water, I am thirsty, there is a person who can help me, who is prepared to help me, but ultimately that I am not getting water. So that is the situation of persons with cerebral palsy. In the case of autism, it is totally a different thing. It's a spectral disorder in the sense that the disability manifests according to where this child is in that particular spectrum. It can be hyperactive, it can be hypoactive. The main problem is the socializations. You cannot even distinguish a child with autism normally, because otherwise they will be very normal, but when they behave, their behavior will be totally different. They are in their own world. In the case of multiple disability, again the problem is compounded because they have got more than one disabilities. So now we have got a situation where, I will come to that later. We have got a situation where we have got a permanent disability. So we have got intellectual disability, we have got cerebral palsy, we have got autism, multiple disability, learning disorder, then of course Down syndrome. Down syndrome of course is a chromosome disorder. Then what we can do? When I say that it's a permanent disability, and when I say that we can do a little of that one, what we are doing at others, what we can do as a society. See, the importance of rehabilitating or normalizing or including these kids depends upon the intervention we make. So we have to intervene right from the start, right from the birth. There are projects in others to intervene right from the birth. Why I am telling right from the birth? Because the first 5 to 6 years of a child in their lifespan is very important, because our brain gets the maximum adaptability in the first 5 years. The brain develops at the first 5 to 6 years. So anybody's lifespan, the first 5 to 6 years is the most important period where you can impart some kind of training. We call it early intervention. So we intervene. So that first 5 years we cannot disturb. We have got a special project for that, because we don't know why these disabilities happens. We don't know. The reason for such disability is we don't know, yet to be found out, yet to be proved. But there are certain criteria under which a child is born. There is a chance or potential disability for the child. Like if the birth weight is below a certain 1,500 grams or so, if the parents have measles or rubella during their pregnancy time, if the delivery is a difficult delivery, premature delivery, forceps delivery, something like that, about 10 to 15 criteria is there. If the child is born under this criteria, there is a potential chance of the child getting a disabled one. So we call these children are at risk. So what we do is, we have somebody called developmental technician, because developmental pediatricians are the specialists who diagnose these disabilities and make a roadmap for rehabilitation. So what we have a developmental technicians where, she will go to various hospitals at a particular day where this neonatology is focused, and we evaluate the deliveries happen on that particular week. And then we select those deliveries which are coming under this category, and we cluster them, and we monitor this child from day one. Why? Because how you find this disability? There is something called developmental milestone. നമ്മൾ കേട്ടിട്ടില്ലേ, ഒരു കുട്ടി ജനിച്ച ഉടനെ കരയണം, ആഫ്റ്റർ 30 days, 90 days കടന്നു പോകണം, ദെൻ മുട്ടയിലിടയണം, ദെൻ പിടിച്ചു നിൽക്കണം, നടക്കണം. സോ വി ആർ all gone through that. So this is called developmental milestone. So when the developmental milestone is absent or is delayed, apalana nammal cautious ava. We will think, why it is not happening, why is not child is not crying, why the control is not getting, why she is not crowding. Apalana nammal nokka, apalana nammal manasilakka. So appo thanne manasilaki, within 5 years, within 6 years, if we can engage them, നമ്മുടെ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ സൊസൈറ്റിയിൽ മിസ്സാവുന്ന ഒരു കാര്യം അത് തന്നെയാണ്. അവിടെയാണ് നിങ്ങളുടെയൊക്കെ ഒരു കോൺട്രിബ്യൂഷൻ നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടത്. ബിക്കോസ് ഇഫ് ഐ എം ഏബിൾ ടു സെൻസിറ്റൈസ് ദ പബ്ലിക്, ദി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് ഓഫ് ഏർലി ഇൻ്റർവെൻഷൻ, നമുക്ക് ആ പെറിഫറി കേസസിലുള്ള ഒത്തിരി കുട്ടികളെ നമുക്ക് നേരെയാക്കാൻ പറ്റും. ദ പ്രോബ്ലം വിത്ത് ഈസ്, വെൻ വി ഗെറ്റ് എ ചൈൽഡ്, ഫസ്റ്റ് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യണം എന്താണ്, തിങ്ക് അബൌട്ട് എ സിറ്റുവേഷൻ വെയർ യു വേക്ക് അപ്പ് ഇൻ ദ മോർണിംഗ്. എത്ര ആക്ടിവിറ്റീസാണ് നിങ്ങൾ രാവിലെ തൊട്ട് നടക്കുന്നത്. യു ടേക്ക് എ ബ്രഷ്. സോ ടേക്കിംഗ് എ ബ്രഷ് ഇറ്റ്സ് വെരി ഈസി. നിങ്ങൾ അറിയുന്നുണ്ടോ ദൈവം എത്ര ഒരു അനുഗ്രഹമാണ് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് തന്നെന്നുള്ളത്. ദ പ്രൊവിഡൻസ് ഓഫ് ഗോഡ്, ഹാവ് യു എവർ തോട്ട് ഓഫ് ദാറ്റ്? നിങ്ങൾ ഇറ്റ്സ് വെരി ഈസി. നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം ബ്രഷ്, വിച്ച് കളർ ഓഫ് ദ ബ്രഷ് യു ഹാവിങ്. 5 ബ്രഷ് ഉണ്ട് എല്ലാവർക്കും. യു നോ വിച്ച് ഈസ് യുവർ ബ്രഷ്, യു വിൽ ടേക്ക് ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കലി, അല്ലേ? ഹാവ് യു എവർ തോട്ട് this color of the brush I am identifying, it is automatically happening to me? And have you ever thought, if it is not possible for me to identify which is my brush, so number 1, I should identify, color identification madam. Number 2, I have to take that brush. Number 3, I have to squeeze some paste. I should be able to squeeze it. My finger should be allow me to squeeze it. And most importantly, I should know how much I squeeze. In one squeeze, എത്ര പേസ്റ്റ് വരുമെന്ന് എനിക്കറിയണം. Then I should brush it as I wish. Then outside എനിക്കത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ബൗൾ ചെയ്യണം. Then most important thing, forget about anything else. I may not be apprehensive in somebody helping me for any other thing. Somebody helping me for food, feeding, dressing, I don't mind. But if somebody is there, if I need somebody's help for my private thing like using a toilet and all, did you ever thought how difficult it will be? You are able to select between a hot water and cold water without any problem. Did you ever thought, you know which is your hot water tap and which is your cold water tap, and you can arrange the source of the tap accordingly. It's very easy for you. It's automatically happening to you. അല്ലേ നിങ്ങൾ എപ്പോഴെങ്കിലും വിചാരിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടോ ഇതറിയാത്തൊരു കുട്ടി സപ്പോസ് ഈസ് ഓപ്പണിങ് എ ഹോട്ട് വാട്ടർ ടാപ്പ് എന്താ സംഭവിക്കുക? Did you ever thought about that? We have got children like that. Our kids are like that. Okay, ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടോ, see, I will tell you a situation where, you know, we have an excellent kid. നന്നായിട്ട് പാടുള്ള എക്സലൻറ്റ് സിംഗറാണ്. He has sung with Chitra, none other than Vedugopal, in stages, and he has got lot of awards in TV shows and all. Excellent singer, but a boy with cerebral palsy. Okay, he's of course verbal. He came to our school at the age of about say 3 or 4 years. So he used to be brought by his grandmother. Ammumma കൊണ്ടുവന്നിരുന്നേ. ഇപ്പോൾ വരുന്നില്ലാണ് because Ammumma died and his parents are not that cooperating. Anyway, that's a different story. ഒരു ദിവസം ഞാനും ഞങ്ങളുടെ ചെറുവാനും കൂടി we used to go around and just converse with the kids and the teachers and all. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് teachers around. ഒരു ദിവസം ഞാൻ പോയപ്പോൾ he was just telling, sir, I want to tell something. ഞാനുണ്ട് ചെറുവാനുണ്ട്. He should be about say 15 or 16 years at that time. Give me 5 minutes before I had to stop. Okay. I don't know. Okay. ഞാൻ ചോദിച്ചു എന്താണ് ചോദിച്ചു. ഞങ്ങൾ പറഞ്ഞു സി up to 15 years I'm okay. He's an adult now. ഞാനിപ്പോൾ എൻ്റെ അമ്മൂമ്മയാണ്. My grandmother used to take me to the toilet and all. Sir, can you do something so that let her take me to the toilet and all, but ultimately, can you do something, can you help me in some way so that I can use the toilet independently, not in my presence of my grandmother? See, but we are thinking of upgrading my Hyundai to Benz, okay, then going from a flat of 2,000 square feet to 10,000 square feet. Here is an adult whose request is so simple that, you know, he was just requesting us to help him to use his washroom independently. We could have not helped him. There was a doctor called Dr. Deepak Sharan. He is in Bangalore. He was at that time in Japan. He has got a special type of surgery. I forgot the name because it's a clinical name. അതൊന്നും നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സിൽ നിൽക്കില്ല. All these clinical words are very, very complicated. So I think probably doctor can tell. So നമ്മുടെ ചെറിയ മനസ്സിൽ അതൊന്നും കയറില്ല. So there was a system in which they invented a special type of surgery. What I understand is that instead of actually you first release the tendon, then you go to the knee, then you go to the thigh, then you go to the hip, something like that. So previously we used to do that in Bangalore, where the child has to go several times to get this surgery. This Dr. Deepak Sharan was doing it at a time, at a single anesthesia. So that is as a layman I can tell you. But ultimately we got that boy corrected, and you won't believe after some 6 months after that rehabilitation and all, he was still in wheelchair. Okay, he again came to us and told me, sir, I am very happy. So my grandmother needs to take me only up to the doorstep. Then the rest of the thing, because that wheelchair is transferable, he can shift himself from the wheelchair to the toilet. So what I am trying to make you understand is that, you know, these are the simple activities of daily living, which, you know, which is actually a gift given by the God, which we never appreciate but we always do, even without realizing that. ഞാനിപ്പോൾ രാവിലെ ബ്രഷിങ് വരെ ആയിട്ടുള്ളൂ. You just squeeze brush and you just brush your teeth. അത്രേ ആയിട്ടുള്ളൂ. അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് you have to go for washroom, ടോയ്ലറ്റിൽ പോകണം, you need to comb, you have to dress, you have to take food, you have to walk, travel, take your books. ഇതൊക്കെ ഓട്ടോമാറ്റിക്കായിട്ട് വിത്തിൻ ഹാഫ് ആൻ അവർ ഓർ 1 hour you are just doing it, അല്ലേ? Now we have got a group of children, a segment which is about 3%, which we call disabled or differently abled or very politely Divyangan. Okay. And have you ever thought, hey, നിങ്ങൾ എന്നെ disabled എന്ന് വിളിക്കുന്നു. You are 97%, അല്ലേ? And who is defining disabled? This 97% is disabled because, defining disabled. നിങ്ങൾ statute ഉണ്ടാക്കണം, നിങ്ങൾ law ഉണ്ടാക്കണം, all these 97%. You are not asking us, അല്ലേ? But if you give this power to this 3%, have you ever thought what will happen? Because അവർക്ക് കുശുമ്പില്ല, അവരാരെയും പാരവയ്ക്കില്ല, അവർക്ക് ജലസില്ല. So if they define all these as disabilities, you see how funny it is. We all 97% will be disabled and we get disability scholarship and all, and the 3% will be able. So it is very unfortunate, the definition. Anyway, I just pointed out that only. So what I am telling is what we are trying to do. So as a rehabilitation expert, time on the just 5 minutes before so that I can see what we are doing, what we can do in the circumstances. എന്താണ് നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുക? So as a layman, as a lay people, when you look at a people with some kind of disability, നിങ്ങൾ അവരുടെ ഡിസബിലിറ്റി നോക്കുള്ളൂ. Because that is what naturally comes to your mind. So that particular person is visually impaired. കണ്ണ് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കില്ല. He is not able to walk. He is in wheelchair. He is not able to talk. നിങ്ങൾക്കതേ വരുള്ളൂ. For me also, what I am telling is, it's not an accusation. That is what naturally comes to a normal man. Whereas in the case of rehabilitation experts, they look at the ability of the person. Because what we can do is, by improving the ability, the faculties which is residual, whatever you say, there will be some faculty which can be developed. Whatever may be the position of the disability, there will be some residual faculty which can be definitely developed. So what we forget is, or where our success lies, to find out that faculty which can be developed, so that faculty will compensate for the disability. So this is the only way out, because the disability we acquired through a brain damage, and that is a permanent damage. So as I said, we have got very little to do with that. So what we left to us is to focus on the abilities, and there comes the technology. So in order to do this, a lot of intervention is required. Clinical intervention is required, because there is a child, epilepsy, or 10 to 15 times in a day is very normal for us. 2 to 3 times is very normal for us. There are children who used to get epilepsy 10 to 15 times in a day. So they need clinical attention, neurologist. So there is a group of professionals we needed to look at the abilities, so that the abilities we can improve. So clinicians, orthopedics, neurologists, ophthalmologists, dentists. So that is one side of it. Whereas we need rehabilitation experts like physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists, psychologists, special educators, etc. So these group actually find what is the positive faculty which is available in the child, and how can we develop that. We fix a roadmap, and there is the importance of the technology. Hitherto, we have been doing it in a very normal way. I can tell you a real story. In my personal business, they were telling Sai rehabilitation. We used to manufacture artificial limbs and all. One, we used to do a lot of camps, government camps and all. One in Cochin Corporation camp, when Dinesh Mani was the mayor. There was about 1,000 attendees, and a small child came. The child was without her, we call it a prosthesis, okay? I mean, lower extremity. Rendu kaalilla from this side. And rendu kaiyuvilla. One hand is, she is a congenital deformed child. One hand is only up to this, another hand is up to this. Just from here to here, a portion, through palms up and the madri. But that girl, small girl, about 5 to 6 years and old, so brilliant. Chirikimbo, it will be just like tingling, ringing a bell. It's so sweet, a girl, very sweet. But just think the kadakane patulu. And Campbell, a lot of people came, and naturally, Mayor told, "Come what may, let us spend any amount of money. Let us spend any amount of money. I want this child to walk. Otherwise, see what are the work we are doing." So we might have given about a lakh of processes by now. Processes, for your knowledge, is something we fit as artificial limb. Under the name of artificial is processes. We have got upper extremity processes, lower extremity processes and all. The technology which played an intelligent part is there. So it's a very, very tough thing because, having one leg itself is a tough thing. Having a bilateral amputation is still a big problem. To compensate that bilateral amputation, you should have 2 hands at least. So if you don't have 2 hands even, then it is the problem compounds. But due to technical advancement, what I can tell you, we usually have exoskeletal processes, something you have in this usual old processes. Whereas we at that time, the technology has developed a new type of process, which is called endoskeletal process. With these processes, we could develop a special system. We fitted that. We fitted it to artificial hand, and the speciality is that for her to walk, there is the development of a normal that Iron Smith. You won't believe what engineering technology illa. She is not able to walk with these 2 because it is very difficult for her. ഞങ്ങൾ അവിടെ സാധാരണ ഒരു കൊല്ലൻ്റെ അടുത്ത് പോയി local party. Then we told, so this is the problem. Think how brilliant he is. He has made a special kind of walker, which is actually, you can just hang on that. She can just float. Ultimately, what is the function we are intended by walking? We have to walk. So our functional ability, it is acceptable to me. Okay, so you can substitute with anything. Suppose a person is bedridden. We give wheelchair. We give different type of wheelchair. Sir has been telling, he has invented many type of modern wheelchairs. These are all improvements, which will improve his quality of function. So here, the function of the child is to mobile. Just kadakkanna kutti namukku enittu narathunnallo ullu. There, see that Iron Smith, he has played an excellent role. He has made such a product, a local product, having hardly 500 or 600 rupees worth, but the child was able to walk. The ending of the story is very nice because after 3 or 6 months of strenuous training, she was able to, I can say, float. And one day, she is with a sister, and there is a home called Home of Faith in Kakanad, run by some nuns. My office is in the upstairs, and this training and all happens on the ground floor. My sister told me, sir, she stopped walking. She says she won't walk now. So, just on the previous years, I saw her walk very nicely, in the sense that she is functional, 100% functional, she is about to discharge. Then this nun told me she is not walking. Then I told, what happened? So she want to meet you. Then I went and met her. Then this girl was standing there. I was standing here. So hall, where you take that gait training and all. You won't believe, this small girl of hardly 6 or 7 years, she just walked and came to me with a small flower and a chocolate. And he could say, sir, I know I have been trained by your process for the last 3 months. I have been recommended by mayor, but I know you are the person behind all this, playing behind the curtain. So this is my actual prosthetic walking in my life, which I am inaugurating in front of you. I know that I will be showcased there. I know that I will be coming in the newspaper, but I wanted to do in front of you because I know that you are instrumental for this. See the pleasure in this. Just simple technology, very simple technology. We had a girl there. That girl is totally spastic, as Sarah has told, quadriplegic because of cerebral palsy. She is about 35 years now. See, when she was about 10 or 11 years, she is totally non-verbal. Okay. So we were trying. For these non-verbal cases, what we do is, we have something called alternative communication system. Okay. In which what we do is, we have some kind of communicative system. Now, a lot of IT-related products are available. At that time, it was not there. I'm talking about 20 years back. So some expert came from Chennai, and she was asking her mother, how you communicate with this child. She told, I don't know. Then how you feed her? No, I feed. See, I know the portion, how much. See, if your mother give milk, you say, Amma eniki paalonnu venda, eniki katta kapi madi. So you have got that freedom to tell, eniki chapati venda, I don't like it. And you say anything to Amma, ille? No, what you are doing? Every day you are doing idli. Okay. Ella those idli ullu make. My God. So we can tell that. Now here is a girl, about 13, 14 years, having fed by the mother, whatever the mother wishes. So mother, what she is getting, she thinks that she likes this and she feeds this. And the quantity, that is very important. She says, I have got a specific quantity, I will feed that one. Then that expert also, have you ever asked her? Kuti enta ishtamnu choichittundo? Did you ever ask her what you like? No, I cannot communicate. How can we communicate? Then what she has done is, she took a paper. That paper she wrote, Gitu, what you like? So her total, she has got only small control in her head. Just she can say like this. If you ask like this, you can say like this or like this. Just like this. A small tilt of the head, she expresses this. So she asked her, Gitu, by pointing, you like chapati? She said no. She like idli? She said no. She like dosa? She said yes. Then the mother started crying, my God, what prevents me from giving dosa every day, every time? But I should know. And she liked ice cream. That was the news to her. So, see how simple this is. And there is excellent communication device, which at that time, about 20 years back, we brought from America, only for this child. At that time, costing about 85,000-90,000 rupees. Which is now freely available, which we call head mouse. So we had a head mouse, we have a sensor, we have a computer. Through this head mouse, this girl can easily communicate. Because whatever you have that keypad that will come in the monitor, and through this head she can easily manage. So the change, at the time she was leaving our school, she could be able to type one page. And when first day, when she typed her name, suppose she fixed that head mouse in G for a couple of seconds, G will get clicked. It's worth like something like that. Probably you can teach me on that. Okay. I'm telling what I saw there. So getting that G type took about 3-4 months. Okay, because he has to stipulate her like that and then get it typed. You won't believe at the end of 6 or 7 months, she could type one full page. When she typed her name, Geetu, first, we cut cake in the school because a girl aged about 17 years, in all her life of 17 years, you're all 17 or 20 now, for the first time in her life, doing something independent. സ്വതന്ത്രമായിട്ട് ഫസ്റ്റ് ആ കുട്ടി ജീവിതത്തിൽ 17 വർഷത്തിൽ ചെയ്യുന്നൊരു കാര്യം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ ഹെഡ് മൗസ് ഉപയോഗിച്ചിട്ട് എൻ്റെ പേര് ഗീതു എന്നുള്ള പേര് മോണിറ്ററിൽ ടൈപ്പ് ചെയ്യുന്നതാണ്. see the importance of technology. See the magic you guys can do. Why you are not doing? What is what we are requesting you? We have got scholars around us. See the change of that girl. Anna, she was crying. Imagine a situation where you are not do anything you are not able to do in your life. Just simply you are bedridden. And the new innovation which Sir was telling, the Hut Lab is making, you know the change which is going to make to us? That is in communication. Communication is the blood of your life, isn't it? If you are not able to communicate, you are nothing. So, this particular research, Sir actually was done this research for stroke patients. So, our request to him was, why can't we give this opportunity to our kids also? The difference is very much, because in the case of stroke affected patient, still they are affected with stroke. They were normal human being, if I can say normal being, because they intellectually they are better. They can take orders, they can execute orders. They know what actually they know everything. Only thing is that post the problem, they have been in the case of disabled or bedridden. So giving command to them or making them to do something, it's very easy. They can do. But in the case of our kids, since this is a congenital issue, even giving a command is difficult because they don't understand the command. So that is a challenge which we are going to have, which we definitely will address. And this, doesn't happen in a day, because we have been conversing, discussing about, I think for the last about 8 to 10 months. I think they might have come at least 5 to 6 times. See how difficult this is. Because they have already invented something, they have already developed something, they have already tested that in Amrita Institute of Medical Sciences successfully, and it is being used. But when it comes to our segment, it took about 1 year to decide whether to go ahead with this one. Why? Because the challenge we face is so hard. So the intervention at different stages is the most important thing. Okay, fine, thank you. So the intervention is the most important thing. So whenever you intervene, at any stage of the life, so you can intervene at the birth itself. As I told you, so up to 6 years, it is the best time to intervene. But we don't live there. There is the importance of you technicians, technical persons have. Because at each time of your lifespans, wherever we intervene, the results definitely we generate. So our intention should be intervene through AI, whatever it is. Okay. So we are going to develop something very new now, because in this ensuing year we have got three projects. One is this, other is actually through AI technology. There is something called assistive devices. It's very easy to explain, because now you just have a glass of water, you just take the glass of water, you just drink it. Because you have got this eye-to-hand coordination, you have got the tactile, so you know whether the water is hot or cold, and you know how much grip I have to give to the water glass so that it won't fall down from my hand. So you know where it has to go. I know where it has to go. If everything is absent, what you will do? So you have to have eye-to-hand coordination. You should have tactile stimulations. Okay. You should have color recognition. Then, if even after my trying, if I am having a disability like this, I am not able to correct this, even after surgical intervention, whatever it is, what rest we can do? We have to devise a device which is adaptable to me in such a way that, I can still have my activities of daily living, like taking a food, or combing my hair, or putting my button, or taking a mug when I go to washroom. Very simple, isn't it? Or pushing a knob.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir. You have 5 minutes more.
Thank you very much. I'm just closing. So, I think I took much of that. Sorry. So this is a subject which is very passionate, and when I get such a young crowd, naturally you get carried out. That's the problem. I'm so sorry. Sorry, sir. So the thing is that we are now trying. I think we are successful in that. I don't know the technological part. What I was told that through AI technology, you can design assistive devices. Like, your hand will be something like that only, but you will have an assistive device which will be suitable to fix in the hand. So that with the help of this assistive device, I can have that fork or I can have the spoon in my hand. It is available even now, but it is very expensive. That is how I like this title very much. Because you have got adaptive spoons, we have got adaptive fork, you have got adaptive button holders. You can put the buttons independently, but these are all imported one from Britain or America and very expensive. Now our trial, we are going to open that in June with this AI technology. We are going to manufacture that. The challenge here is, even though I told I have got about 500 odd kids, I don't have even 2 kids having the same problem. So that is the issue we have. So everything to be customized, everything to be designed according to the child, so that he can use it or she can use it. So new technologies, that is what drives us ahead. We had an ordinary wheelchair when we started about 27 years back. Now we have motorized wheelchair. Now we have wheelchair which can climb the stairs. So your help is what we request. In the total regime of rehabilitation, the technology, importance of technology. If you ask me, after the invention of wheels, probably the IT, invention of information technology, is the most, invention which actually changed your whole life. I think you all agree with that. So let us use the technology. We are still using it, and the change which you can make to the segment is immense. And I seek the help of all of you, especially youngsters, during the course of your studies. Somewhere, if you struck such kids, just keep it in mind that, I'm going to help them. So be with us, be with this segment. That's my humble request to all of you, because we need your help to take this forward. And thank you again for this excellent opportunity. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Sorry for exceeding my time.
Director of HUT Labs, to present a token of appreciation to Mahadevan sir. Germany. A prolific author of 3 books, he has presented numerous papers at national and international conferences and serves as an external examiner for 5 South Indian universities. Beyond his medical accomplishments, Dr. Balachandran is a multifaceted personality, an inspiring public speaker, a capable administrator, a talented poet, and a music composer. He currently leads Sakshama, Samadrishti Shemada Vikas Evam Anishadan Mandal, a national level organization dedicated to the comprehensive welfare of persons with disabilities. Operating across all districts of Kerala, Saksham supports individuals with 21 types of challenges through medical aid, educational support, arts and sports encouragement, therapy centers, and advocacy for legal rights. The organization also promotes eye donation and strives for the empowerment and self-reliance of differently abled individuals by fostering collaborations with research institutions. With great pleasure, I invite Dr. Balachandran to deliver guest of honor address for this auspicious event and share his expertise with us through an insightful talk on the topic, Affordable Healthcare Innovations.
Respected people on the dais and my colleagues and my students, if I am given a chance again to become a medical teacher and a chance to become a vice chancellor of a university and to take my own student as a medical student, I'll take Mr. Mahadevan as my medical student. I'll teach him for 5 years in medical university because he has charged my heart with emotions. During the 32 years of service in medical colleges all over Kerala, in 4 medical colleges, after I have delivered 37 children to this world and have seen more than 700 disabled children, I have not seen a person who is emotionally charged like this. You can feel the patient, who can understand all the abilities of the people with disability, and he has given a very descriptive talk on the topic. And when I had an invitation to this symposium, I was totally taken away by the word affordability. That is why I removed the word. There were two segments. So I took affordability because when I took charge as a medical superintendent in Kottayam Medical College some 15 years back, I had no experience as an administrator. But I had a soft heart like you, Mr. Mahadevan. And one day, when I was coming down from my office of the superintendent, on the same day I had read in papers that 5 members of a family were bitten by a rabid dog. And these were very poor patients. And they are holding her arms like this with a torn dress. And I was coming out by my office. I asked them, we are directed from Pathanandar Government Hospital to take immunoglobulin. They didn't tell the word. But as a medical person, I knew that. And when I reached medical college, they said, it is not available here. It was a rabid dog. And think about the situation when your family, all the family members bitten by a rabid dog. And I was sitting in the medical college as medical superintendent. If we don't do anything, what's the fun in continuing as medical superintendent? I thought of getting an answer for this. I came back to the office and met the lay secretary. He said the total immunoglobulin dose for these 5 people will amount about 30,000 rupees. And you are not financially having any control to spend 30,000 rupees each day. As a medical superintendent, I had taken charge a few months back. I thought it was okay. When I was coming down in a totally desperate situation, I called my wife. She was also working in medical college. She said, don't worry about that. Take 1 month's salary and buy immunoglobulins and send them off. But when I came down, the retired lay secretary was coming up. I had an experience of treating more than 150 people. I'm a gynecologist with an endoscopic surgeon. And I had treated about 150 pregnant ladies with heart disease. So this lady secretary was working with me early, and his daughter had heart disease, mitral valve disease. So he was bringing his daughter to the medical college. And he said, I met the patient and I did everything for the patient. I get the patient for more than 3 months. Then I made a request to this person. Sir, I am asked by the lay secretary now that you don't have the right to buy immunoglobulin in the capacity of the top of the medical college as an administrator and the medical superintendent. What can I do for this? Then he said, don't worry. You are a senior clinician. You just, at the time there was no email and all that. So fax to the health secretary that you need immunoglobulin for 5 people, and you don't wait for the message back, and call a medical store owner and ask him to bring immunoglobulin for 5 people. And within 30 minutes, I got immunoglobulins for 5 people. And I came down to the preventive clinic and give this immunoglobulin to the 5 members of the family. Even now I become emotional because if you think that your family members were bitten by a rabid dog proven and you cannot do anything, sitting at the top of the medical college. And that is the day when I had my lunch sumptuously with my wife after having equal immunoglobulin. That is why I was very much attracted by the term affordability. And as my slides please, he was also taken away by the emotions. Don't look onto the slides because it doesn't mean anything if you don't have any emotions in your heart. You may be a clinician, you can have so much of experience, but unless you understand the pulse of the patient or your colleague or your members of the family, you are not fit to become a physician or a doctor. And if you do that, if you rise up to this level, you can do so many things which you can even imagine. I was again taken away by so many advantages of the advancement in the clinical procedures in many hospitals. You can do anything and everything now. As it was told that I am a poet, and I had no idea about AI incorporating in writing a poem. I had a wonderful experience last month when I composed 21 poems with the help of AI. With my medical background, nobody could ever do that because all the themes are in medicine. And I got it published free of cost. And that is the importance of AI. What can be done to the medical field with AI? And I'll just go through some other important things and show you two simple, beautiful videos. I wish you'll be very much impressed because we see it every day. As an obstetrician gynecologist, I see every day these things what you could have seen. And this is my first platform when I talk away from the medical college. I go for inspirational talks and all that. But when I talk to the engineering faculty and students, I feel so much elated. And it is very important to know that telemedicine, I will just go in random and tell about certain innovations which can help you in treating the patient and also giving you the passive consolation in the form of emotional consolation, physical consolation. I was very much touched when I saw a patient in their house a few months back. A man, 24-year-old man, living with only his mother. He has so many things to tell, but he can't tell. Totally paraplegic, emotional tense. And I thought about the outcome when I was invited for this symposium, because if you can convey anything to the colleagues or to the friends, you become so much solace, because when you are in a situation when you can't move your leg and hands, but your heart is full with emotion and also imagination, it's a very difficult situation. That is why Amrita and the Heart Lab is doing a great job here. And I'm happy that I can associate with them. In telemedicine, we came into the actual functioning during the COVID times, when people were afraid to go out and meet people, patients. Then we could do telemedicine. But the drawback is that once you don't see a patient for the first time in your room or in a company without palpating and touching or doing anything, what you do everything through electronic communication may be wrong. But I have now come to understand that technical advancement has gone to such an extent that even seeing the patient and palpating the patient and communicating with the patient is not going hand in hand. This is a situation where I can operate from New York from a lab to a patient in Kottayam Medical College directly from US, because I see everything on the monitor. I have devices which I can manipulate, and the simulating effect will be transmitted to the Kottayam Medical College from US, and I can operate the patient. But you know, if it is as a reserve preparation, suppose something goes wrong, you must be able to take the patient out from the crisis. That is only one situation. But telemedicine can do a lot, and the patient can be consoled orally, emotionally, and you can do a lot when you can use electronic equipment by seeing the patient's face and talking to him or her. You can do a lot. So you know that there are so many technologies which can come to your help. Technology for speech, technology for sight. I think my friend did not mention anything about the eyesight. There is a research work is completed in Japan now. When there is no eye, he can see people by instituting an instrument which can take the stimulus of the light. It can be directly converted to the stimulus to the brain, and it can re-assimilate to make pictures, so that what you see with the eye can be seen without an eye now. That is technology now. Back you know. So there are so many innovations which can help the patient and also people around you. Next generation sequencing. When we talk about patients with different anomalies, I was in an unfortunate situation in Kottayam when I was shown a lady with 18 weeks pregnancy. The baby had hydrocephalus, and it was undetected by the local hospital, and they refused to terminate the pregnancy. That was the first time when I did a termination of the pregnancy, because through Sashama and also other organizations, I know the long distance difficulty the parents will have to face if this baby is brought outside. Although I am an obstetrician gynecologist, I decided to terminate that pregnancy because I was the chairman of the screening committee there in Kottayam, and I could convince the parents and also others in my colleagues. So it was done. Still, I have got an ache in my mind. What I have done may be wrong, but I have done a great thing for that parents and also the whole of the family. These are simple things just to tell you that these things are available around us. Point of care testing means when a patient comes to you, and even in medical colleges, you must go outside to take the X-ray, go to another lab or doing the blood studies, and finally the patient will die of myocardial infarction before these tests are completed. Such a situation I have faced. And point of care testing means everything is available, just close to the patient. You can do investigations like X-ray, and also CT scan and anything near around, so that the patient's courage and also the sense of satisfaction will be increased, and the clinician also will feel so much boosted, and the patient will have double effect on treatment modality. 3D printing, till then I got your invitation. I never knew anything about 3D printing, so I studied it. It is very important to know that when you have a 3-dimensional photograph with you, you can see the spatial planes which you should know, and you give this feedback to your machine, and the machine will bring a physical structure as per the suggestions given by the 3D dimension. And this can be utilized even the advanced techniques in modern medicine. You can even create vast vessels for the heart. He can create stents to remove the block or the attacked heart people, and also even create structures which can never be built by any other person. The precision goes to that extent that you can do anything is in this blessed world. And I think I have reached your heart by this time, and I will show you the video so that you'll go back with an elated heart. These are things which I cannot appreciate because digitalization may be so much important. It can make the people very much aware and they can avail all the advancements in the field of medicine. And you should study that from your people, your seniors here and your faculty members. So I don't go after that. And there are techniques called personal and precision medical care. You understand the difficulty of the patient. You understand the genetic makeup of the patient. You understand the behavior of the patient. And you understand everything the patient needs. And when you treat that patient with precision medicine, the ability of the clinician doubles and the patient will be improving within a short span of time. These are things you can just understand like our heart card. In this card, everything about the patient, starting with their medical history and also all the details about the vitals, BP, pulse, everything, heart rate, everything is there. History of drugs taken, so that when a patient moves to another doctor, when the patient wants to get advice from another super specialist, just push this card to him, he will understand everything. Now you look onto this. This is the advantage of the techniques in medicine and also in people where you have never seen a baby growing. Now you see the baby growing just in front of you. This is the baby growing, sperm going into the ovum. It is getting fertilized inside and it is converted into 4-stage stage, 8-stage stage, finally a morula stage, and the morula moves in the uterine to get attached with the fundus of the uterus, and finally it grows into a baby. You can never see that, but artificial intelligence have brought it in just in front of you. And let the baby grow there. We'll go to the next video. This I have seen 12 years back in the US when I went for a training. That is a female gamete, egg, getting fertilized by a sperm taken through the microscope. And it is getting inside the female gamete, egg, and the micropipette is drawn back and it becomes a fertilized ovum, and it is being transferred to the uterus of the patient. Now I went after 12 years to US. That baby came to me, "Sir, you were there when I was born in the lab." And that was the time when I felt so much excited over the modern advancement in the technique. Thank you very much for the patience shown to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful talk you gave. I request Dr. Gayatri Narayanan, Vice Chair, Department of ECE, School of Engineering, Amritapuri, to present a token of appreciation to Balachandran, sir. Focus on children affected by cerebral palsy, autism, Down syndrome, and multiple disabilities. The Trust provides comprehensive developmental and therapeutic support through its various centers across Kerala. This Memorandum of Understanding marks a new chapter of collaboration between HUT Labs, a center of excellence in assistive and healthcare technologies, and Adarsh Charitable Trust, combining technological innovation with compassionate care to improve the lives of children with special needs. For this special occasion, I request Mr. P.R. Mahadevan, Secretary, Adarsh Charitable Trust, Mr. Ignatius, Vice Chairman, Residential Project, Adarsh Charitable Trust, Mrs. Priyadarshini Rajkumar, Vice Chairperson and Head of Administration, Adarsh Charitable Trust Main Center, Dr. Rajesh Kannan Megalingam, Director, HUT Labs, to step forward to the stage. Let us all witness the beginning of a meaningful partnership that aims to create inclusive technology-enabled solutions for a better tomorrow.
Thank you to all the dignitaries for being part of this significant occasion. Now, we are moving to another milestone in today's event, the signing of the MOU between HUT Labs and Saksham. Saksham is a nationally recognized organization working tirelessly for the comprehensive welfare of persons with disabilities. With a presence in every district of Kerala, Sakshama supports individuals facing 21 types of challenges through a wide range of services, including awareness programs, therapy, medical assistance, educational support, and empowerment initiatives. It also plays an active role in promoting eye donation and ensuring the self-reliance and legal rights of the differently abled. This MOU represents a new synergy between technological innovation and social responsibility. Through this partnership, HUT Labs and Saksham aim to collaborate on affordable assistive technologies and digital solutions that make a lasting impact on the lives of persons with disabilities. For this special occasion, I kindly invite Dr. P. Palachandran, State President of Saksham, Dr. Asha Gopalakrishnan, All India Vice President, Mr. Pradeep Kumar, South India Zonal Organization Secretary, Mr. O.R. Haridas, State Secretary, Mr. P. Subhash, State Organization Secretary, Dr. J. Chandran, State Research Coordinator, Mr. Pradeep Ayers, Mr. U. Suresh Kumar, Mr. N. Srijit, State Joint Secretary, Ms. Bindu Shashikumar, Mahila Convener, Mr. B. S. Vinay Chandran, Mr. K. R. Raghunathan Nair, Dr. Lega Bhatt, Mr. Subramanian, Advocate Ayyappan Pillai, Mr. P. V. Nishant, and Dr. Rajesh Kannan Megalingam, Director of HUT Labs, to step forward to the stage. let us witness the signing of this MOU, a promise of collaboration, inclusion and innovation for a better future.
सक्षम भारत समर्थ भारत सक्षम भारत समर्थ भारत
Thank you to all the dignitaries for being part of this significant occasion. At this point in the program, we would like to take a moment to announce a special initiative. HUT Labs at Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham is excited to announce the initiation of a new research and development project titled Communication Device for Kids with Autism Spectrum Disorder and Cerebral Palsy. This short-term experimental collaborative project aims to develop an AI-enabled assistive communication device that enhances interaction capabilities for children with speech and motor impairments. The system will feature with pictographic and phonetic support, real-time neural machine translation and multilingual text-to-speech capabilities paired with a compact adjustable microphone speaker hardware interface. The device will enable children to express health needs, emotions and daily routines through customizable verbal instructions and visual cues. The project will be executed in collaboration with Adarsh Charitable Trust, where real-world testing and feedback will refine the solution. Additionally, the initiative will involve the publication of 2 research papers and 1 patent. The one-year project is led by Dr. Rajesh Kannan Megalingam, Director of HUT Labs, and will contribute to the development of affordable and accessible assistive technologies for children with special needs. Let's move forward with our program. Next, I invite Dr. Gayatri Narayanan, Vice Chairperson, Department of EC.
Namaskar all. To the respected dignitaries on the dais, office bearers of the prestigious NGOs, and my dear students and colleagues. The theme of this symposium today, which is sustainable and affordable healthcare innovations, it couldn't be more timely or relevant because we are in a world where access to quality healthcare remains a privilege for many rather than a right, especially in our country. Of course, we are making a lot of leaps and strides, but still there is a huge segment of the population who are denied access to these technologies. So initiatives like this are actually a beacon of hope for these people. And HUT Labs has always focused on developing technological innovations. As you've seen, Sir was also mentioning that during COVID time, they have come up with a lot of innovations, and that too in a very short span of time. Which really requires a lot of dedication and perseverance on the part of the researchers. There is a hand gesture-based wheelchair system, the Netrawad, which Sir had spoken about, which have not only just been developed as products, but have also gone on to become excellent research publications. Other than that, there were products that were developed like Annapurna, Prabha, etc. So there has been a lot of development that HUT Labs has been, actively engaged in. Along with that, we have been really privileged to hear from Dr. Balachandran Sir today and Mahadevan Sir. Sir, both of you, along with all the office bearers of Sakshama and Adarsh, they are really wonderful living examples of the ideology of compassionate leadership. They have contributed immensely to the society in an area where these opportunities are still a hand touch away. Right? In case of children with special needs, in many of the families we observe that the parents are either inconvenienced or even in the cases, in some of the cases, although the parents want to do a lot for the children, they are financially challenged. My parents, both my and my in-laws, they were actively involved with the Amrita Institute of Differently Abled, and I had also had the privilege to spend a lot of weekends with the children, and so I could really resonate with what Mahadevan sir was saying when he was sharing his experiences. So on behalf of the Department of Electronics and Communication and HUT Labs, I bow down with a lot of respect and humility, and I would like to pay all my respects and appreciation for the immense work that you're doing for the society, for this section of the society. Thank you, sir, to all the office bearers as well. I'll convince sir to you too. So I remember the humble beginnings of HUT Labs when I joined as a faculty here at the institute, where sir started from a small cubicle in the ground floor of the main building. And for HUT Labs there has been no looking back, because from the ground floor, literally sir has gone up to the top where we have a huge area that is dedicated to HUT Labs in our main building. And I'm sure most of you know, your seniors also know, they have been spending hours in HUT Labs as interns. And sir has been successfully able to place several students, mold several students, guide them in their career, provide internships abroad, help make them work in projects that are real time, and that has really helped a lot of students gain admissions to prestigious universities abroad. And they are also successfully contributing back to the society, to the university. And some of you have also been recipients of their talks, them sharing their experiences, which in turn inspires you to strive for higher ideals. So I take this opportunity to congratulate HUT Labs in collaboration with Adarsh and Saksham. This symposium, which is an august gathering of NGOs, academicians, doctors, office bearers, and committed individuals who want to really do something for the society, I'm sure it will help us see wonderful results. Because in India, one challenge that we face is we have ideas that are in many cases translated to prototypes, but we face challenges where we have to actually take it to the society. So a conclave like this, a symposium like this, a collaboration like this will go a long way in actually achieving productization. So I once again congratulate the team from both HUT Labs and the NGO, Saksham and Adarsh, for this initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable words. invite Dr. Shakti Prasad KM, scientist and project manager at HUT Labs, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Namaskar. Good morning, everyone. It is my great privilege to deliver the vote of thanks at Healthcare Symposium 2025, centered on the theme Sustainable and Affordable Healthcare Innovations. On behalf of Humanitarian Technology Labs, Electronics and Communication Department, and Amrita School of Engineering, Amritapuri Campus, I extend our sincere gratitude to everyone who contributed to the success of today's event. We begin by expressing heartfelt thanks to our chief guest, Mr. P.R. Mahadevan, founder, secretary of Adarsh Charitable Trust, and founder of Sai Rehabilitation, for his inspiring talk on the importance of technology in enhancing the lives of children with special needs. We are equally grateful to our guest of honor, Dr. Balachandran P., President of Sakshama, for his valuable insights on the need for affordable and accessible healthcare innovations. A special thanks to our Dr. Gayatri Narayanan, Vice Chairperson of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, for her warm felicitation and unwavering support for HUT Labs and its initiatives. We also extend our gratitude to Dr. Rajesh Kannan Megalingam, the Director of HUT Labs, for his thoughtful introductory address and for spearheading the vision that brought the symposium to life. We would also like to thank our distinguished speakers who are leading today's technical sessions. Mr. Shantanu Gaur, this Healthcare AI Adoption Specialist, MeitY NASCOM Center of Excellence, and Dr. Adul Joseph Manuel, President-elect IMA Cochin, Managing Trustee Adige Care and CMO Open Healthcare Network, and Dr. Parvati Unnikrishnan, Associate Professor, Department of Prasudi Tantra and Sri Roga, School of Ayurveda, Amritapuri. Thank you for going to share your expertise and perspectives on the integration of technology, community healthcare, and Ayurveda-inspired wellness solutions. Our heartfelt thanks and appreciation to also goes to the members of Adarsh Charitable Trust and Sakshama who joined us in person today, making this MOU signing ceremony even more meaningful and memorable. We gratefully acknowledge the support of ICTS, Electrical, GAD and AOC teams. Your behind the scene contributions ensured the smooth and successful conduct of this symposium. Finally, to all faculty members, staffs, students, thank you for your time, attention and enthusiasm. Your presence has made this event impactful and inspiring. Let us carry forward this idea and energy of today as we work together toward building the future of sustainable, affordable and inclusive healthcare. Once again, thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for the sincere and well-expressed vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. So today I'll be talking regarding community-based healthcare, and we have been using a tagline for a long time called high tech and high touch, because earlier days I come from a palliative care background. In palliative care, we used to believe it should be high touch and low tech. That was around 15 years back. So now we are trying to transform it to high tech and high touch, how high tech can help in high touch. So that's where we are going to. And today we have heard, I feel actually a lot of things from the heart on how things are happening, especially with the disabled world, where we are not much aware of, or I think we are not much exposed to. And I want to bring an attention to another aspect in the continuum of life, where when everyone hears about palliative care, you think about end of life and geriatric care usually. So though it's not just about end of life, yes, end of life has a lot of role to play in it. So just to bring about that and to bring out a problem statement on what we are dealing with. So when we talk about healthcare and healthcare gap, there's a very hard fact truth, especially when everyone looks at a doctor. I've been a practicing doctor for more than a decade now, almost 13, 14 years. And wherever I go, I get a special seat. People think of doctors as a god. But when you look at the healthcare industry, which is a real term right now, this is the burden that is healthcare industry is causing to the country. So when you think about big corporates or someone whom we might be thinking actually is looting the country, when you look at the healthcare industry, it is contributing to 1/4 of poverty per year in India. That is almost close to 55 million people are pushed below poverty line just because they have to access healthcare. I'll just repeat. Usually when we talk about people not being able to access healthcare, but people somehow tried to access healthcare and then they were pushed below poverty line, that causes almost 55 million. So Kerala's population is 35, so more than the population of Kerala is being pushed below poverty line per year in India because they had to access healthcare. So that is where the huge healthcare gap is. So we are evident on people are not being able to access healthcare, but once you access healthcare again, this is what healthcare is doing now. So there's a imminent need that we need to change it. And statistics shows that most of this expenditure happens during the last decade of your life. So you are born, your parents raise you, you are taken care of, you work very hard, you don't look at your family and you work all your life, you get to your retirement age, everything that you earned, that you contributed, that or you feel that you have in your bank account will be taken away from you and your family within the last 10 years of life. So that is where actually we are standing now. And what to do regarding it? It's not an easy challenge. And when you talk about it's not an easy challenge, this is the current healthcare system that we have. And we believe that healthcare is usually delivered from an institution. Whenever we think about healthcare, in whichever part may be, we often think about a building, a huge building which has a capacity of X number of beds, which can take care of people's health. But this is the perspective that we want to change today. So I come from Ernakulam district in Kerala, and just to give you a background, it has around 38 lakh population average. And when we in palliative care, we talk about serious health-related suffering. When you talk about the number of people who are actually suffering from health, minimum of 1.4 lakhs per minute. Like at a given point of time, you have 1.4 lakh people who are really suffering from health. I'm not talking about cough or cold, who are really suffering from chronic diseases. And out of that, almost 68,000 are at home. I'm telling average numbers, which we got from Highway. So almost 27,000 people are bedridden in my district alone. And almost double of that are at home who need help to do anything in your life. And the healthcare infrastructure, if you think of it as an institutional care, in Ernakulam, which is one of the most metropolitan districts in Kerala, it only has 14,000 beds, including private and government system. And even if you take care homes and old age homes to orphanages all together, again that only contributes to another 14,000. So if you wanted all these patients who are suffering from health to be treated inside an institution, we don't have that institution in our setting. And this was proven. This was proven during COVID time. COVID time, per day 74,000 people were getting affected. So COVID, we call it as, I was the control room nodal officer of the district. So we call COVID as a celebrity virus. Actually, it got more attention than it needed. But again, it taught a lot of things to us. And this was one of the major things. That when everyone got COVID, if you just remember back 5 years back, healthcare system used to say to everyone, please stay at home. You don't need to come to an institution. Care can be delivered at your doorstep. And nothing much happened in healthcare. Everyone was getting basic healthcare as per their need. In Kerala, we can proudly say that no one was left behind. Everyone was catered to as they were needed. And this clearly shows that You don't need so much, because this was the only healthcare institution even back then. We created few first line treatment centers, second line treatment centers, but majorly treatment was only happening in these number of beds itself. But we were catering to everyone with the help of technology. That is where was Sir showed earlier in terms of telemedicine, and all came into play, and we got confidence in telemedicine. Before COVID time, even India didn't have a paper on telemedicine. It's after COVID that India had an official document on telemedicine. And by telemedicine, yes, there are many flaws to it, but there are many good things as well, which reduces the burden of the whole healthcare system. So I also want to introduce to one of the key things called community-based palliative care system in Kerala. While the world renounces regarding it, actually Kerala population is not much aware in terms of what is happening in that sector. So it is a system where people have taken up the healthcare system. Usually healthcare system means healthcare professions, but here people non-healthcare professions took up the healthcare system. They run the healthcare system, and healthcare professions are usually the visiting people or just additional service giving people in this system. So this is just a timeline of how the palliative care system evolved. It started back in 93-94 in Calicut Medical College as a pain clinic, and slowly the importance of non-professionals in healthcare system was known, and it was embraced, and a neighborhood network in palliative care system came in, where every neighborhood should be able to cater to each other. 2008, the first policy in India on palliative care was rolled out in the state. It was totally implemented. By 2013, it was fully implemented, and 14 to 19 more enhancements were made. 19, we revised the policy, and after that COVID came, so it was a bit stalled in implementation, but now the journey is going forward, and now we have launched the palliative care grid app, which I will be showing later. So when you talk about healthcare, we heard about affordable healthcare solution. We talk about health a lot and healthcare. And if anyone has looked at the definition of healthcare, it is called physical, psychological, social well-being. I just had spirituality because I come from a palliative background. So I just want to ask everyone, people, as we think of patients as being the beneficiaries of healthcare. And a patient means a person who doesn't have health. And if you define health as physical, psychological, social well-being, I ask everyone sitting in this room, can anyone raise who can say that you have physical, psychological, social well-being, 100%? Can anyone raise your hand? That means everyone is a patient. Simple dictum. That means if you talk about health as physical, psychological, social well-being, then you can't classify a person just as a patient because he has a diagnosis. Everyone is a patient. I'm just talking about this because usually when you have a patient, you just put them on the other side of the table, and you come to this side of the table thinking that you are fully perfect. That is when you are there to give. There is nothing to give. It's just that we need to share the resources. He is a person who needs more care than me. So whatever I have, I can share. It's not about giving. You don't have anything in your hand to give. So that must be, and this graph, it's a tentative graph. It shows that the blue is where how the healthcare delivery happens. So who delivers this physical health? Who delivers this psychosocial health? Who delivers this social health? If you think of physical health, you might think it's the doctor and the nurse. No. If you think the life of a diabetic patient who takes injection, it is him or her himself that takes the injection. They have done more injections than a nurse in their whole lifespan. The doctor would have visited, the patient would have visited doctor around 300 minutes in the whole life. The patient has lived with diabetes for 36 years. The wife has taken care of her husband with stroke for 20 years. She has done more dressing than a nurse in her life. She has done more medication delivery than a doctor in her life. And we still think that healthcare professionals are the only people who deliver care. Especially when you go to psychosocial support, when you have a distress, I don't think you will be going to a psychologist every time. When you have a psychological distress, you will be going to your friend or a family, opening up, your psychological distress is over. Then the question is, who needs to be empowered in delivering this care? It should not be just healthcare professionals, but everyone sitting in this room. Healthcare is everyone's business. It's not just professionals' business. So this is one of the models that we are trying to enumerate out, which is called community-based healthcare system, where usually you think of professions being the people who are going to reduce the gap in healthcare. So I recently came back from UK with a 3 weeks visit with the NHS, which is renowned for the healthcare system, and you could clearly see how too much of professionalization can end up in. You need to empower every person in taking care of health of their own as well as their near one, so that everyone can get health. When you think about, so this has been practical in Kerala palliative care, where I can proudly say that today if you go to any patient who is bedridden at home, it is very less likely that you will see them drenched in their urine or feces. But around 15 years back, if you go to any patients who are bedridden, the moment you enter the step of the house, you will be stinking of urine. That is because every month there's a nurse going to every bedridden patient home in Kerala. There are 1,400 nurses. They just go for 1 day in a month, but they teach the family how to take care of them for the next 30 days. How to turn the patient. I always challenge all the healthcare systems. We often discharge many patients from hospital, and we give them lot of medication and lot of advice. But none of the family knows how to change the bed sheet of a bedridden patient. If you need to change a bed sheet, so I was talking about ADL in the morning. Similarly, just to change the bed sheet of a bedridden patient, you need minimum 4 to 5 people. But actually there are medical techniques. You just need to fold the hands, knee, elbow, knee, turn the patient, put the new sheet, turn it on the other side, take out the old sheet. If you can teach that, then every patient can be lying in their dignity in bed. But now they are living in a bed sheet which is stinking for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. So there are simple techniques which everyone can learn to take care. You don't need to be a MBBS graduate or a BSc nursing to take care of another person. So this is where we are giving out the model for community-based palliative care, where usually it's a top system that we think that is giving healthcare. But just think of a community which knows how to give care to each other. When their capacity is not being able to give, you have a home care system which delivers similar kind of care at home. When that is not able, then it goes to the present tertiary care healthcare system. So this is where healthcare can transform as a whole. Hence we believe that actually home is where healthcare happens. Home is where most number of quantifiable healthcare happens at a given point of time, irrespective of any. So home healthcare is the key focus. And this is where Kerala has reached with the community-based palliative care system that has evolved. We have more than 2,000 home care units right now, almost 1,400 in the government sector, almost 500 NGOs in all across Kerala, even private hospitals. I was working with Amrita 2016-17 in palliative care. We have a home care unit there as well. And we do a lot of procedures at home. You do urinary catheterization, wound dressing. Even now we dispense morphine, we do injections. There's a ACT tapping that we do at home. So there are many things that which were thought could not be done at home. It's been done at home now. And this is where we are looking for, because as of now it's only happening in the daytime. We want to transform it into a 24/7 unit. That is where my institution that we are running a POC in Ernakulam called IDGA by an initiative by IME Cochin. And this is a statistics in the last 5 years. And the high peak that you can see is when we started the 24/7 care. So it clearly indicates there is no PR work in this, so it's all word of mouth. It clearly indicates that the community needs 24/7 care as well. Community is ready to take up that care as well. So there are many family nurses that go on scooters, cars at home. We have a 24/7 care service that happens. Last year alone, we have touched around 10,000 patients, done around 13,000 cares. This is the catchment area that we have now. It's not working. So we do a lot of community works, family supports. When you look at the psychosocial support between home and hospital, I don't have to explain that in a hospital you are in ICU you are alone. In a ward you can have one person at a time. You can talk for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, then you are bored, then there's nothing to talk to each other in a 24/7. now we are creating workflows and SOPs on how to do this care so that we can teach everyone through our training system. So this is the community resource center that we have started for training. So this is where the technology part comes. So till now we have heard about EMR, but EMR has been there in the field for 20 years. And personally, as a clinician, I hate EMRs because you see a patient for 10 minutes, you take 20 minutes to type the whole thing in. And the person will be sitting in front of me, I lose all the compassion that I have talked about in it. But that is needed for the recording. So here we started EMR back during the COVID time. And I just like to play the video.
Okay, wound dressing അല്ലേ ആൾ അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തേക്കാം. ഓക്കെ, പെയിനും ഡിസ്കംഫർട്ട് ഒന്നുമില്ലല്ലോ. ഓക്കെ, ഞാനിപ്പോൾ തന്നെ സ്റ്റാഫിനെ അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തേക്കാം കേട്ടോ. ഒരു ഹാഫ് ആൻ അവറിനുള്ളിൽ സ്റ്റാഫ് വരും. ഓക്കെ, ശരി, താങ്ക് യു.
BP 120/70, saturation 98, pulse 82, respiratory rate 14. നേരത്തെ പോലെ മൂത്രമൊഴിക്കുന്നിടത്ത് ഇപ്പോൾ വേദനയില്ല, വേദന ബെറ്ററാണ്. പിന്നെ സാറ് പറഞ്ഞ ഗുളിക കഴിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. പേഷ്യൻറ്റ് നേരത്തെക്കാളും ഉറക്കം കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ട്. രാത്രിയിലൊന്നും വലിയ പ്രശ്നമോ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുകളൊന്നും ഇപ്പോൾ ഇല്ല. പേഷ്യൻറ്റ് നേരത്തെക്കാളും ഓക്കെയാണ്.
But it captures the data and understand what is BP, what is pulse. This was taken back in November 23. It was shared by the OpenAI's global lead and Satyan as well. So when you think of software, it is usually costly, but this is an open source built in GitHub, and we have started back. That's a control room back during the COVID time. So we have supported by many organizations. Satyan, when he was back in India last year, he was uploading regarding the Open Healthcare Network. And we have a link with OpenAI in creating automated discharge summaries, because we know discharge summary is something which always hangs you back to the hospital. And we have agents in vision, voice, and as well as assistive agents being built. We have CAScribe, HCX, and ABDM, which is M1M to M3 compliant, and it's an HCX sandbox for the NHM. We have a whole interoperability with FHIR standards, NOVAD and LOING. And it's already there in 9 states with a project called 10-bed ICU, which provides daily ICU services across India, mainly in the Northeast. It is recognized by the United Nations as a 50th digital public health good, and it is made by 1,044 people. So it was born and brought up in GitHub. It's contributed by everyone sitting here who is an aspirant to go to GitHub, search for Open Healthcare Network, and you can be part of this initiative. You can help out build this thing. So if you ask whose is it, it belongs to 1,044 people. It's not belong to any institution alone. So that's what we have. So there's a pupil first. It's a startup which has a GDC program for engineering students. It's AICT approved. You can get into that. You can be an intern in this whole process as well. Recently, 2 months back, Chief Minister of Kerala launched this same software as a palliative care grid across the state. Now it's implemented in the government sector. This week onwards, we are starting with NGOs. We have registered more than 1 lakh patients in the past 1 month across Kerala. And all the demography of everything comes out automatically. It's a whole AI thing, and slowly we are registering NGOs as well. SOHO has given us, at IDK, SOHO has given us free for 1 year to use the CRM whole system. So financial impact of home care, coming back to home care and hospital care. Hospital care is usually seen minimum 5 times to 9 times of what happens at home. And it's not the hospital bill. Usually people think of the hospital bill as major cost. When a patient gets admitted in a hospital, it is not just the patient, the family that has to take leave, go to home, take food from home, go to hospital. The cost increases without accounted. It doesn't come under insurance, it doesn't come under anything. So at IEEE we have brought out a new financial model called a cross-subsidize model, where people who can pay are given a chance to pay, and people who can't pay, we find funds from the community. We have microfunding and CSR fundings as well. So this is the narrative that we give, and we have seen that 41% of people actually pay. It's often thought that people who can pay won't pay, but actually 41% of our beneficiaries are paying on their own. And even those people who are paying have donated even legacy funds after that, because at midnight 11 a.m. the mother is breathless. If you go to the hospital, she will be taken to an ICU. Here you have a nurse coming to your home, giving medications, making the mother calm, and mother can die peacefully at home. So that gives a lot of relief for the whole family. So, and this is a breakup. We need to increase micro donations because then only more participation will happen. It's a lot of CSR. So this year we are looking at pediatric palliative care as a major focus and rehabilitation at home. We are also looking at starting a coordination center, and this is a concept that we are looking forward in terms of mid-level hospital. Mid-level hospitals are dying in Kerala, so we are trying to make them into a family hospital or a neighborhood hospital, where as of now mid-level hospitals are there but they are not accessed by everyone. But if a mid-level hospital does home care, then they become accessible for everyone. The whole continuum of care happens. So this is what we are focusing on, and also scaling up to the whole of Kerala in terms of training. And also taking home care not just from palliative care but to the whole spectrum of healthcare. And this is something which I want to talk about especially to students. Even whenever we see anyone who is suffering, whether it's a kid or an old age person, we often say, and literally no one benefits from it. No one wants your sympathy. Actually, we always recommend there's only one word that you can give to anyone, a promise that you can give to anyone, that you will be with them. So let us give that promise to everyone. This is a volunteer system that we are trying to build with this. So I would like to ask everyone to contribute to this, not just in money but also in your time and effort, because I have been talking about this, and mostly we feel that this is something which I can do in my retired life. I'm not going to be affected by it. I'll tell you one of the facts. 85% people sitting in this room, so I hope around 150 people are there. 120 of you will be bedridden before you die. That is a statistics. If you go to a Western country, chances become 90%. So you will be bedridden before you die, sure. Statistics are very clear. And the present system is not enough. So if you want to have a better life when you are bedridden, please contribute to the system. Because it's 100% thing that you or your family member will be bedridden. So I invite everyone, there are a lot of things to be done. And it's actual real facts. So often facts are not that easy to comprehend. So you can volunteer your time, your energy, and you can contact this number and get to know more. Students, I invite you for the technology part where you will be more enthusiastic in contributing, because we need to teach the nurses how to do, you need to teach healthcare professionals how to do. So let us believe in humanity. It's everywhere, it's not lost. So thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Amrita. On transforming the way hospitals, diagnostic chains, medtech enterprises, and public health centers adopt digital solutions. By bridging the gap between critical industry needs and deep tech innovations, he has helped numerous startups deliver impactful, affordable, and scalable healthcare solutions across the country. Mr. Shantanu has a deep passion for turning vision into value, and his strategic collaborations have been instrumental in accelerating AI-led transformations in the healthcare sector. With great enthusiasm, I now invite Mr. Shantanu Gaur to deliver his expert talk on the topic AI and digital adoption for access to affordable and quality healthcare.
Perfect. So, a warm welcome to everyone, and I would also like to thank Dr. Rajesh for the great ecosystem that he has built, and just yeah. So particularly, I was going to the website that you have and the kind of innovations that you spoke about. That does say the fact that there is a lot of impact that is potentially being created, and you, all of you are, AI developers, all of you are potential AI scientists, and some of you are also doing great work. But it is my job, what I do as in I work with startups, is to help them and take their solutions out to the market, because building solutions is one thing and taking them out to the market is another challenge altogether. Before I do that, I would like to run this quick poll, and I would like to have a quick raise of hands. So there are two parts to this slide that you can see. One of which says AI can't replace doctors, the other one says AI will replace doctors. Let's have a quick raise of hands. How many of you think that AI can't replace doctors? And this goes out to all the students particularly. I want to hear your thoughts. How many of you feel that AI will eventually be able to replace the doctors? Why are so less people so hopeful about AI? Okay. So is there a third option? I mean, my bad, I just gave you two options. Right. So, as Dr. Atul has already said, reducing the doctor's burden, automating a lot of things that are happening, and look at things from a patient journey perspective as well as from a doctor's response to it. Like he was talking about the EMR thing, which again is a pain point that is already solved. Now have a look at this, and this is not, I am not saying this. There is a a trained clinician, a surgeon, who is also the global health lead for USAID. He has said that doctors will, with AI, will replace doctors without AI, and it is up to every one of you who is being present over here, the kind of solutions that you can make that does not think about replacing them, but it thinks about empowering the doctors, it thinks about augmenting their workflows, and it focuses on improving the lives of the doctors better day by day. So a bit about what I do and where I come from. So my name is Shantanu. I've come all the way from Delhi, and I'm born and brought up in Faridabad. Of course, Faridabad is also home to one of the biggest, largest hospitals, which is the Amrita Hospital. So my connect to the Amrita ecosystem stems from the place that I was born and brought up in. Now, in terms of NASCOM COE, the institution that I'm a part of, it is a Digital India initiative by the Ministry of Electronics and IT in partnership with NASCOM. Typically, what we are doing is that we are closing the gap that exists within the enterprises and the startups, and we are creating an environment that is conducive for collaborative innovation. What I mean, what I mean by that is that we enable opportunities for the startups to help them to bring them the clinical validation and to make those solutions scalable. So there are two important words which are there mentioned as a part of the symposium today, which is sustainable and affordable. I would like to add one more word, that is scalable. Because whenever we are building solutions, whether it is an AI solution or a robotic solution or a medical device, building it is one thing, but successfully scaling it, getting your first paid customer or creating the first impact on ground in terms of a public healthcare deployment, and then keep on doing that scalably is a really big challenge. Because I've seen that happen, in my line of work, that I work with startups. And to be honest, it is called an expert talk. I'm more of an enabler. I don't think I don't consider myself as an expert over there. I am learning things. In fact, I learned quite a lot of things which were really inspirational, particularly on the front targeting people with special needs. But what I will talk about more is from a perspective which is different on two aspects, one of which I've already said, that taking things from development to deployment. The other thing is that if there is any disease, whether or not if it is a cardiac disease or it's cancer, it equally affects everyone. So the idea is to bring in how innovation can play a key role. These are some of the providers and partners, the payer partners that we are working with. We are working with them to enable the deployment of solutions, to enable the deployment of AI solutions and various other innovations which have been successfully being scaled up, deployed, and clinically validated. Now, as I said, I will cover some case studies which are like real life case studies where these solutions are getting an impact. But before I do that, one of the key things is to look at the do's and don'ts. What are the key challenges? Suppose you have built an AI solution which you think is going to change the world. You go out into the market, you talk to the first few potential customers, and you hit roadblock after roadblock. You find that there are challenges arriving at you from different directions. And that's what happens. That's what I've seen happening to the most promising solutions that have been built in right in front of my eyes. So what I will do is, I will share some of the challenges that typically someone like you might end up facing when they are looking to take their solution out to the market. Also, the possible mitigation strategies. The key word over here is possible mitigation, because what worked for me might not work for you, but it is a good starting point for you to look at addressing the problems that could come on board, right? So moving on to the first problem that is here is the integration with existing systems. Now each hospital, Dr. Atul spoke about EMR, there are various kinds of software suites, there are various kinds of devices, systems in place in any healthcare setting. There are HIS systems, there are legacy medical imaging devices and whatnot. And if you are building an AI solution, suppose if you are looking to deploy an AI-led prescription digitization, then it is really important that you integrate with the HIS, and that too successfully. If you are building an AI solution that is working on any of the radiology-led modalities for any kind of disease diagnosis, then it is really important that you are able to integrate with all the medical devices, including the legacy one. And that's where I've seen problems occur so many times, because the communication, the integration is not done seamlessly. So what can you do? What can the options be? The first thing is to leverage protocols that are open communication protocols, interoperable mechanisms for the data flow. You can leverage the standards that are there already, global standards for working on various kinds of data flow. Also, one of the key things is complying with AVDM. Now, AVDM is, for those of you who are not aware, Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission, which is being run by the National Health Authority of India. It is like UPI of healthcare, wherein AVDM is building the integrated, they are building the backbone for the integrated digital healthcare ecosystem. So, in a layman's language, what it allows you to do is, if you are sitting anywhere in India and you have a healthcare facility, then you will be getting a unique healthcare ID for your facility. And if there is a patient that comes on board, that patient would be having a unique UHID which would be linked to his Aadhaar, and the entire patient journey will be mapped digitally, and it will be made available and accessible, of course after ensuring the data privacy and all those compliances through the stack that ABDM is developing. So that is not only useful for the healthcare ecosystem as a whole, but particularly for the solution developers that are over here, the AI solution developers that are over here. It will also enable that you are complying with the law of the land, or the soon what is going to become the law of the land, where every healthcare institution, every AI application will be complying with it. So one of the ways is to apply for an integration sandbox of your solutions. The link is there, you can go in and you can apply, and there are various levels of integration over there, M1, M2 and M3. Depending upon the requirement, the kind of sandbox integration that is needed, you can apply for that and ensure that your solution becomes interoperable. Now moving on to the next challenge, which we often face, is the trust deficit. Again, as I said, you have built a building solution, you take it out to the market, and it seems to work quite well. But then again, I am a clinician. If I am a clinician, I've spent so many years, perfecting my practice. I won't, like if an AI or any kind of algorithm tells me what to do, right? So the approach over there is, as I said in the first slide that I started with, is to look at empowering clinicians, look at augmenting their practices instead of taking AI-backed autonomous decisions. AI is not supposed to take decisions. AI is supposed to support in taking decisions. So that is the approach which you should take whenever you are designing any kind of solutions. The other thing that you can do is to invite clinicians. So there is, like in your own fraternity, there are so many big and small hospitals and medical colleges. If you are trying to build a healthcare solution, it is really important for you to engage with them quite regularly. So in fact, there are a lot of institutions that are already doing that. Recently, I had gone to Jodhpur, where there is IIT Jodhpur and AIIMS Jodhpur. So what they have done is that they have created a comprehensive program where the students who are there from IIT Jodhpur who are building solution integrate with the young MBBS doctors who are coming into AIIMS Jodhpur. The idea over there is just to ensure that both the worlds are connected with each other right from the scratch. Instead of you build your solution and then you try to take it out to the market. The other thing which is really important, and I think all of you would be knowing about it, but I just want to emphasize it, is investing in clinical studies and regulatory compliances, because that is really important. When I say invest, spend time and resources in doing your clinical validation studies. Make sure they get published, and the people who come on board in your studies that you do, make them your brand ambassadors, make them your AI advocates, your evangelists. Because as a fraternity, if someone from my fraternity or someone who is also practicing doctors talks about a particular solution, and it is all the more likely that I am going to listen to his or her opinion, and based on that, it would help me in establishing my trust over these solutions. Moving on to the next challenge that generally startups face when they are looking out to venture out in the market, is an end user mindset which is resistance to change, and that is a human behavior. If we get so used to working the way we are, that even if it's if a good solution comes our way, just because we are in our comfort zone, we don't want to venture out of it, and that sometimes ends up becoming a roadblock again. So over there, since it is a behavioral problem, it needs more time and more consultation and working proactively with your target audience, which in this case is the clinicians. What you can definitely do is creating an awareness that whatever solution you are developing, it is going to help the clinician in making their tasks less tedious, in probably automating some of the tedious tasks. So a clinician can focus on the tasks that are more critical, that would not only reduce the turnaround time, it would also ensure better productivity for them, and it would also ensure that they can comply with all the compliances and have a better interaction with the entire treatment pathway. Apart from that is, as I said, focusing on clinical augmentation rather than trying to replace things. I started out by the replacement slide just to ensure to bring in the dilemma and what the people start with and what they should end up doing. Then is user intuitiveness. All of you are using smartphones these days. Now, there is, Apple sells its, smartphones for such a high cost. Of course, one of the things is that it ends up becoming a status symbol. But much before that, when Apple came out, started coming up with its products, the major aspect which they had, the major selling point which they had was the design and the intuitive interface. If there is any solution that is being handed out to you personally, and if it is clunky, if it is not easy to use, then you, even being technologists, will not be using it. Now imagine a clinician who is quite separated from the technology world, but we are expecting them to use that solution. So the recommendation from my side would be that as engineers we think about solving the problems and sometimes we stay restricted to it. The idea is to go beyond that and maybe spend as much time, if not more, on the user aspects of things, on ensuring that the user interface, the user touch point of your AI solutions are the best in class, they are the best in the world, so that as a clinician I feel more engaged in using it and I feel more inclined in using the solutions. The last part is the budgetary constraints. Of course, all these innovation aspects, these implementations, these startup deployments at the enterprise level, they come in from the innovation or the IT budgets, which are always limited, which sometimes it results that even if the solutions are pretty good, they don't get adopted due to these constraints. So over there, what you can do is you can look at creating, exploring creative models of commercialization. So an example would be like there is a company that has built a solution that works with the hospitals to help them save energy. Now, one of the ways of selling the solution would be that you ship the solution out, ask them to pay the capex and the opex. The other way is to say that you will not have to pay anything upfront. The amount of savings that you have each month, our cost will be amortized on that. So you are amortizing on the savings, which means that no upfront cost for the deployer, for the hospital, and this is a model which is working really well. So you have to look at creating models where the budgetary constraints don't become a deterrent for your deployment. So there is some part of the slides which I think it's going out of the, if you can zoom out a bit. Is it visible to everyone in this way? Okay, perfect. The last thing is, and the most important one, I believe, is the data security and privacy. And it is, not so difficult to comply to this. The only problem is that it is, security and privacy is taken as an afterthought, mostly by the young entrepreneurial teams. When in fact you should be looking at security by design. Not only is that more effective, it also ensures that it costs you a lot lesser, because some of the times you need to go into rework when you're looking to file for getting your solution certified, and then there are any vulnerabilities that are found in the data security and the privacy domain. So whenever you start building any solution, since you are working in the healthcare domain, healthcare data is the most scrutinized one, and any healthcare institution, if they are unsure about where my data is going, how is my data being handled, modified, updated, no matter how revolutionary your solution is, they will never deploy it. They will never even touch that solution. So you have to be really careful right from the beginning that you comply with all those things. You comply with the data privacy regulations. There is the DPDP Act, which has come into play quite recently, and it will become the norm, in the time to come. Ensure that you engage someone who is a specialist in this, and you comply with the laws of the land, and be forward in doing that. Even if it has not become an act, just ensure that you comply with whatever is going to become the law of the land, because then that also gives you the edge in comparison to other solution providers who would be trying to back that order from a hospital or from a medtech enterprise. So as I said, I will be talking about some of the case studies, and the sole objective of bringing these case studies is to let you know what are the kind of innovations that are happening in the AI in healthcare space, because it's not that AI will change things in future, it is changing things currently. As we talk, AI is being leveraged not only in the urban areas but in the rural settings as well. And so there are certain also the idea is that don't get bogged down by the details that might come in the case studies, or if there is a clinical term that you are not able to understand. The idea is that you should know how you can innovate and the kind of innovations that are out there in the market already. I'm working in this domain. I am a technologist just like you, but working with doctors, I try to pick things and learn new things each day. Quite a lot of things that I learned today as well. So yeah, these are 5 buckets in which I try to score, because there's so much happening in this field that it is difficult to compress all those things into one even an elongated session like this. So there are 5 different buckets that I have created over here, which is into clinical decisioning, patient engagement, point of care screening, critical care response, healthcare decisioning. And I have taken one case study of an actual deployment of AI that is happening on ground, and I will be talking about each of these one at a time. But before I do that, I would like to stop over here, and I would like to ask if any of you has any questions, any thought, or forget that if you are trying to work on anything and you are facing a challenge, then I will like to stop for 2 seconds, wherein you can, or maybe what I can do is I will start off with one of the case studies. Meanwhile, if you have any questions or any thoughts or any challenges that you would like to bring in a public platform, please go ahead and do that. After this case study, I will come back to you if you have any questions till whatever I have spoken about till now. So this is the first case study. This is with like a cancer institute and research center based out of Delhi NCR. And cancer diagnosis is complex. It is takes a lot of time. It is tedious, and it is also critical. So what we did was that we found an AI solution that can you just move the images aside a bit? I think it might not be visible to everyone. Yeah, just keep it in that mode. Okay, because I will be talking through it. Okay. Or you can increase the zoom level down. So yeah, sorry. So this is a cancer institute that we deployed an AI solution that works on histopathology slides, wherein you take a sample, you put that on a slide, you put it under a whole slide image scanner, which is similar to a microscope but much more than that. So we deployed an AI solution that uses image recognition and various other technologies to identify the cancerous cells within those slides and help the clinicians in triaging the normal cases. The idea, as I said, was again not to replace the thought of the clinician, but to help them in being more efficient. So this solution creates a detailed comprehensive diagnosis report by analyzing the histopathology data and then coming up with the insights and the diagnosis on the basis of that. This is a clinical grade, medical grade solution that is deployed and working now, and it is doing the clinical diagnosis for the patients as of now. So yeah, as I said, I'll stop over after this for 2 seconds. Any questions, any thoughts? I want to make that this session is interactive, and you'll be able to find value only if there is equal exchange of dialogue from both the sides. Anyone has any questions, any thoughts, any challenges? I'll wait for 2 seconds and then I'll proceed. So it's either everything is going all good or it's all bad. If there are no questions, either just these are the two possibilities that are there. Anyways, moving ahead.
Excuse me. Comment on the A advantage or identifying cervical cancer.
I'll do that. I have a slide just for that. So, there you have it, sir. So, for my engineering friends who are like me, cervical cancer, I think people know about breast cancer, oral cancer, but cervical cancer is just to let you know, as far as I'm informed, the second highest cause of oncology related death in women globally in India. I could be wrong factually, but it is a pretty it has a very drastic impacts. Now and also one of the facts is, one of the reasons for this is that the screening, the testing for cervical cancer, there is a stigma around it. It is an intrusive test, and it is really difficult to get mass screening done due to the very same reasons. Of course, there are a lot of initiatives that are happening, but the scaling up is becoming a problem because again, as I said, there is a stigma that is associated with it. So here comes a solution, which is, as I said, it is a CE, FDA and CDSCO Class C certified, which means that it is a medical grade solution, which has a colposcope, which is nothing more like an imaging device for the high resolution imaging of the cervix area. And post that, all the images that are captured, high resolution images, are sent into an AI model, ingested by an AI model, and based on that it identifies or it generates a risk score. I'm not saying that it will do the diagnosis, but it will do a risk score for the presence or the absence of any suspicious cases of cervical cancer. Now, as you would see, this is an image of the hospital in which it was deployed. So this is one of the AIMS, by the way, and AIMS conducts his screening camps in partnership with the PHCs. So this is deployed as of now, being used in conducting those screening camps to identify the suspicious cases. The data that I have from ground is where this was a few of the screening camps that were done in the state of Punjab. It was found out that 25% of all the women those were screened were found to be in the suspicious category, and then of course all of them were not so serious, but they needed some kind of a consultation, so they were referred, and then quite a lot of them, what I can easily say, lives saved by these solutions. So the idea is to look at solutions that can help change the patient outcomes. Okay. So Dr. Atul spoke about the patient-doctor interaction. Was it able to address? Right. So if a doctor says right, it is problem solved for me. So yeah. So coming to the next use case, Dr. Atul had said about how he hates EMR because of this time that needs to be spent in recording the data, and also the quality of patient-doctor interaction that it affects. So this is a solution that we recently deployed. So this is with this ophthalmo chain based out of South India only, and this ophthalmo chain also conducts screening camps for detecting glaucoma, diabetic retinopathy, cataract, and all those things. And one of the problems that they face is the absence, or maybe whoever is there in terms of the healthcare workforce are sometimes not equipped to handle what comes on board. Of course, they do, try to do it through the tele-ophthalmology way, but that also has some limitations. So the idea was to augment their workflow. So we came up with a generative AI-based solution where it listens to the doctor-patient interaction, and on the basis of that, it not only documents everything, it also presents a treatment pathway. So based on whatever symptoms I have, based on whatever my family history is, the the demographic factors, any medications that are going on, it creates a clinical pathway which lists out what are the drugs that can be administered, what are the the treatment conditions, the tests and everything that need to be taken care of. And this is the doctor co-pilot. Apart from that, there is a patient facing app. Now what this patient facing app does is that it allows the patient, once the patient reaches home and he or she has any questions or any queries with regards to their the treatment that's ongoing, then they can simply open their smartphone and they can start talking to this solution, this app, in vernacular. We did it in Tamil for this particular deployment, but we have also done it in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Gujarati, Marathi, of course English and Hindi as well. So that is the beauty of this solution. And just to let you know, since we are talking of healthcare solutions over here, all these solutions are medical grade. In fact, the solution which is based out of Gurugram is ranked number 1 on Hugging Face, which looks at the AI model, and number 2 is DeepSeek, number 3 is OpenAI. So this solution ranks number 1 globally in terms of its accuracy to handle the medical applications, and it has been built right here in India. So the idea is to, when I said that that's what you should try to target. Built for India, built in India, make in India for the world. Because the thing is, whenever we are looking at solutions, we have to ensure we are looking at indigenous solutions, but those solutions will always be compared to what is being available in a US or an Israel or a Germany or a Singapore. We have to ensure that whatever you are building is world class. Of course, don't get bogged down that, go in a phase-wise manner. You start small and then scale things up, but then always have the vision that you want to compete with the best of the worlds. So this is again a solution which is for critical care. Now, and this solution was deployed in one of the district hospitals in their emergency care units. So emergency care units, as I don't know, you might not be aware because you're so young. It receives a lot of patients coming in due to cardiac ailments at VRs, 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m. Because as I was hearing Dr. Shetty, he had mentioned that 2 to 4 a.m. is the window when a lot of cardiac related attacks or all those things happen for a certain region. And it is, I think, also called something as the dark window, black hour or something like that. So a lot of patients come in to the hospital during those hours. So the problem is, at that time, the doctors who are on duty are your junior residents, or maybe the freshers who are sometimes they feel ill-equipped in handling or interpreting the ECGs, and that is something which will come by experience. So what we did was, this is a solution which not only has like a clinical CDSCO Class C. Class C means it's ICU grade ECG device. It also has an AI model that does the auto interpretation of the ECG signals. So this is being used in the emergency department, but this will soon be extended to the ambulatory care as well, because this is a really low cost and portable device, and it also has the AI capabilities. So here as well, we are saving lives because we are able to bring in the necessary interventions. This not only detects any, like it can detect tachycardia, bradycardia, myocardial infection. It can do that, but it can also give out the alerts in real time, so that a necessary action can be taken by the on-duty doctors, or they can talk to the senior doctors and take a timely action and save lives. So ultimately, as I said, it is about majorly doing two things in healthcare. Either you have to save lives or improve lives, or you have to make doctors' lives easier. You will anyways be able to make a huge impact if you are achieving these two, or even one of these two objectives. Now this is I think the last case study which I have, which is for general health, a health insurance company. I was initially thinking whether to include that or not, but just to ensure that, just to let you know the diversity of the AI solutions that exist today, as which are being deployed as of now. This is for a health insurance company where there is an underwriting team that, based on the risk score from the member, the individual, the potential policy holders, to decide whether or not to give a health policy, which is based on a multitude of factors. There are medical reports, there is the proposal forms, and a whole lot of things, risk factors with a particular area, occupation, and a whole lot of family history, and different kind of structured and unstructured data, even handwritten notes for some of these interactions. So what we did was, the first thing is to digitize the unstructured data. There is a high volume of such data that exists, and digitize the structured and the unstructured data, and then an AI model that operates on top of that to create a risk score that can help the underwriters in taking an informed decision whether or not to go ahead with a particular policy. If at all to go ahead with a particular policy, look at customized premium, both on the positive side and the negative side as well. So this not only allows the insurance companies to operate more profitably, and which means that they can give far more claims, they can be far more efficient. This also ensures that the underwriters feel less, there is the burden which is on them is reduced due to the automation of the tedious tasks that they are performing. So that ends my case studies, and I would just like to conclude. And before I conclude, I would just like to bring this small story. This is one of the companies. This is a young team. They are fresh graduates, and this is our hardware lab based out of our innovation center at COE Gurugram. The initiative that I'm a part of. We have such labs in Bangalore, Vizag, Gandhinagar as well. And this is a team that is making a bionic arm for upper limb amputees. This is what you see is their functional prototype in their hand, wherein they started out from the scratch, and we brought them in touch with AIIMS Delhi to bring in the clinical expertise, and all these three are from the co-founding team over there with their functional the solution that they have at our lab. This is them after raising a funding of $10 million, and I think they have raised another round of 20 million as well at one of the leading media channels out there. Why I'm talking about this is that this is everyone who has reached there was at some time they had a prototype in their hand, right? So and opinion and advisory to all of you is that you should have such visions in your mind whenever you are starting out. So yeah, that's the end of it. Power is with you. Keep innovating. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. I request Dr. Ramya Ajay, Chairperson, Department of ECE, School of Engineering, Amritapuri, to present a token of appreciation to Shantanu, sir.
Thank you for that elaborate introduction. So now I guess I am the odd one here, listening to the distinguished speakers.
I'm not a technology person. I'm zero in innovations and zero in AI. So now coming to that ground reality, I am an odd one here. Now, just being a clinician, I am here just because of one reason that we all have. Can anybody tell? Just because of one reason I am here. I'm a clinician, and you might have listened to the introduction part. But again, keeping aside all those credentials which I have, one reason is common for all of us, and perhaps it should be common for all of us. Coming to this topic, it's just a kind of empathy. It's just empathy that that is why I'm here. So I hope throughout the presentation, I just request all of you to just keep watching your feet. Just keep watching your feet and your shoes. Throughout the presentation, I would request everyone to just look down. Okay? So I hope I'll be able to convince or maybe convey the whole idea to all of you. So let me begin the topic. As the slide says you, this is my topic. So it's all about women's health, mental well-being and substance use challenges. So this gives you an idea that what is my credentialing to this area. But again, I'm telling you, based on these credentials, I'm not a person to involve too much into this area. Truly speaking, I'm not an expert in this area. I'm a beginner in this area. But still, based on the empathy which I have been or maybe I'm having in this particular area, I'm here. So just we'll begin this topic. Let me just ask you one simple question. What is the meaning of fundamental? What is the meaning of fundamental? Perhaps we'll go to the women's health aspect, or for a woman, what can be the meaning of fundamental? To be more precise to that question, can anybody just give me any thread related to the word fundamental? Basics. Elementary. So coming to woman, what can be the fundamental that she is expecting from us? Support. So from that word fundamental, I think we'll begin the session. So this is the stage wherein I'm about to start my talk with a triple burden. So as the title itself says you, it's going to be a triple burden. When it comes to the women population, always we need to focus upon the physical health, we need to focus upon the mental health, and perhaps we need to focus upon the substance use challenges. Being a person from Kerala, do you know what Kerala is suffering now? I mean, what is the gripping issue which we need to encounter now? Being a person from Kerala, you should know, especially when it is coming to the handsome boys like you and beautiful girls like this, you should understand what is happening in Kerala in terms of substance use. So that is why I intentionally selected this topic. Why? Because we should understand. We should understand what is happening to the young youth and the adolescents and even the 5 to 6 year old kids, what is happening. Okay. So with that word meaning fundamental, I would request you to just scan this QR code. It's going to be fun. Please. Don't worry, this is not going to be a quiz or something. It's going to be a fun. So I would request everyone to please scan this QR code. There is nothing like right or wrong in this. I hope is that done? Towards the back? Okay. Okay. So now this picture. Okay, just go through this picture and there we'll start our